Hello and good morning, colleagues. Today is Monday, November 7th, and I'm greeting you from my office here in Manatee. I wanted to talk with you a little bit about a memo that you're going to be receiving from me in the college email tomorrow. Several of you will know that since I started at the college, one of the things that I have spent quite a bit of time talking about are the ways in which organizationally we look at our processes and systems. We've been doing some of that over the last year, but I also share with you that I've been looking at lots of things that have been in place since I've come at the organization, and more importantly, looking at opportunities for improvement. One of the things that I became very interested in here are some of the things related to the ways in which we think about our employees here at the organization, and in particular, most recently, our classification study. Many of you will know and heard me talk about in multiple forums that we have had a process that started, will be 3 years in December, that spanned 2 to 3 presidents. And I will share with you that I've heard in almost every forum that I have with staff across this organization has been a concern about the process. And in particular, wanting more information, having clear direction about how to proceed in the process, wanting to have a greater understanding about the equity of the outcomes, and moreover, really wanting to have a better understanding of where this is leading as an organization. I'll share with you that I've heard this on multiple times, and when I started, I directed Human Resources to work diligently at getting the process done. And I believe that they did their best to do that. But I will share with you, as I have moved across the college community after consulting with many staff members, talking with many administrators, I've decided that it's time to reset the process. As an organization, we have lots of things we need to put our energy and time on, but this has taken a lot of our energy as an organization, and I'm very concerned about the outcomes of a process that in a lot of ways leaves some folks having a lack of confidence in it. So that being said, last week I started having conversations with many folks within the college community to better understand and ascertain where we were with the current classification process, having some conversations about what was transpiring as a result of that, and moreover, how do we start to move forward to ensure that there's a process that, while everyone may not be happy with the outcomes, there's a process in which we have great confidence that we know the outcomes are things that are fair and equitable. As such, I've decided that we are going to reset this process and look at this in a fair and equitable way. I've charged Senior Vice President for Administrative and Fiscal Services, Ms. Kathy Jones, with leading the renewed classification project. As such, there will be 4 specific steps that we're going to execute immediately. One is we're going to have a review of the existing classification study. We're going to hold, secondly, a series of open forums and feedback mechanisms for staff to offer their feedback as to how we move forward with the renewed classification study. Third, a summative report offering the learnings that we've had as a result of those open forums and the feedback loop will be issued in January. And then by July 1st, we will be done with the compensation study. So we're very excited about this and have a very clear direction about how we're going to move as an organization to fulfill our obligations here. So I'm very excited about those, and I'm very hopeful that that will mark a very important shift in our organization toward the actions of what we need to get done to have the process completed. Today I've invited 2 important people to come in and have a conversation with me just briefly about this, because over the last several weeks I've been in contact with them as they provided counsel, sometimes offered me a different perspective than what I've been thinking, which I appreciate both of them for doing. And I've asked them to come in. Why don't you all step a little bit closer to me, because I really think it's important for the staff to understand that their leadership has been in contact with me. So first of all, I'm going to ask, maybe should I turn to the left? I'll turn to the left first, to Ms. Julie Foster, who is the president of our Staff Senate. And I'm interested in you. How do you, as the leader representing your constituency group, what do you think your constituency group needs me to know about this process as we move forward?
Well, I think it's a really important step by acknowledging that the process thus far has not really produced the results that we were all hoping for. I think that was a brave and courageous thing to do. And I think from this point forward, what we need, the staff needs to do, is take responsibility for bringing their very best ideas to these forums for how we should move forward. And I think that will give us a really good process and a really good jumping point to get this whole thing started.
Thank you very much, Ms. Julie. Ms. Liz, who is our president of our staff union, AFSCME, could you talk a little bit about your thoughts about what your constituency group will want me to know about this process as we move forward?
Well, I think they're all very nervous and anxious over this courageous move. I don't think it's something anybody takes lightly. I believe that all of us are going to work together a little differently, and I know that there are a number of staff that felt that they weren't given due process and would need to have some assistance, and I'm hoping that we can get them the right assistance to get them to be able to write their classifications out so that it's a little more clear to say what they really do, so they get the credit for it. But we're supporting you, and we believe in this process as well.
I'm very grateful, and thank you for that, for both of you, for your comments. And here's an important point that I really want to also end this message with. I am going to be, at this particular point, as I shared with some folks I just met with a little while ago, I'm willing to be invested in this process very deeply because now this is on my watch. We're starting this here and we're going to get it done. And as a result of that, I need everybody in the college community to be actively engaged in this to ensure that we're not focused on where we've been, okay? Been there, done that. We're moving forward now. And how do we ensure that by June 30th, we have a process in place and the outcomes that we can feel equally invested in, even if, because let's be honest, let's put it out there, everything is not going to be the way we want it to be done. But if we have a process that's fair and equitable, that's been appropriately communicated, and that we value the people that work within the organization to get that done, I think we're going to be in a very good place. I want to thank both of you all. I want to also let you all know that along the process, I will be continuing to have very frequent and direct conversations with both of these women. Feel free to contact them to get to me if you feel that somehow it's not going through the appropriate channels. But moreover, I also know that Kathy Jones is going to be leading a very, normally I don't use this word, but I'm going to say a transparent process, because she's very much committed to ensuring that at the end of this, that we all have great confidence in what has occurred. So I want to thank our folks in HR who've done the best that they can based on where we were as an organization, but I'm also very excited about where we're going to be going with this process and look forward to everyone being actively engaged. So thank you all for joining me, and I look forward to seeing you all in the near future. Thank you and be well.